I'll just get right into it then. One day in rehab, I decided that we needed a talent show. Now, I wasn't particularly talented at anything specific, but I think my focus was on trying to impress a girl. Clearly, it was not the last rehab I would go to. So you won't be preoccupied with the why I was in rehab. I'm just going to be honest here. A lot of people thought that it was because of drinking and other stuff, but really, it was cigarettes. Yep, I had been trying to quit smoking for a while. I had pretty much quit, except when I was drunk. So, only smoking when I was drinking, I was down to about a pack, pack and a half a day. To fully quit smoking, the goal, I did inadvertently have to quit drinking. Sometimes you have to shoot the dog to kill the fleas. But for job interviews and online dating, it's easier to just say I went to rehab for cigarettes. 'Cause I did like drinking. You know what my favorite drink was? Absolutely anything with alcohol in it. Mmm. Doesn't a cold one of those sound good? Or warm? I mean, who gives a shit? I don't really understand people who choose not to drink. If I wasn't an alcoholic, I would drink every day, all day. Part of the problem with being sober, the draconian AA definition of it anyway, is just a complete lack of flexibility. So many rules. You can't even sit down like a gentleman and enjoy a glass or two of wine, which is a shame because that is a really great way to start the day. Damn cigarettes. If they want people to quit smoking, they should forget about the might cause cancer warnings and just go with the is making you look older now. I mean, that scares people. George Orwell once said that everyone gets the face they deserve by age 50. I'm screwed. In about 7 years, I'm going to look like, well, the truth, that I took my lifetime supply of sunscreen and asked, how much vodka and cigarettes can I get for all this? Great, can you have it delivered? I'll be over there standing in the sun and wind, dehydrating myself. I was excited about this talent show because I wanted to show off. Look at me, I'm using complete sentences, not slurring. And I wasn't looking great, but I looked a lot better than when I had arrived. If nothing else, rehab is good for the complexion. Actually, I don't know that. I mean, I don't know anything about looking younger. But I can tell you the secrets of feeling younger. Who doesn't want to feel 18, right? I mean, the secret is to make a big deal about quitting drinking and drugs and all that. Yay, I'm sober. Really sell it. Side note, anyone who is a bubbly cheerleader for Team Sober probably isn't really on the team. I mean, anyone going SOBER has a little vodka stashed in their car. Anyway, make sure everyone knows how great you're doing. I love the clarity. And then start taking sneaky drinks, forbidden nips. You feel like a rebellious teenager again, hiding it, taking some from bottles and putting water back in, loading up on Visine and mints before going to school to pick your kids up. It's like every day is prom night. Woo! The fountain of youth really is sipped from a well-hidden flask. I have lots of good life hacks. I mean, if you can be an alcoholic and live to 40, you know some shit. But getting other people to perform in the talent show was not easy. And if you ever tried to do karaoke sober, then you know what I'm talking about. So you don't know what I'm talking about. But the reason people were there, actually, I don't know that why they were there. But once there, one thing many of them had in common is that they wanted to screw someone else that was there. And that is a big part of getting people on a stage. By stage, I mean circle of chairs. But no one is allowed to be alone with someone else. So they may have wanted to screw, but really what they got to do was play ping pong, which is okay. I mean, the back and forth could go on as long as you want it to, so that's cool. It wasn't the last rehab for a lot of us, I think. But rehab, though, is like skydiving. You don't really relax and enjoy it until your third or fourth time. I'm kidding. I have no idea what skydiving is like. I spent all my money on booze. Plus, if I wanted a thrill, I could have just tried crack. But if you do think that you might drink too much, I strongly suggest rephrasing that. Yeah, instead say that you get a lot of drinks out of the way. Makes it seem productive. So you could say to your girlfriend, yes, I lost my job today, but what did you do last night? While you were basically napping for like 8 hours, I was out there getting drinks out of the way and brainstorming. Never say partying. If you're in business, use the word networking. If you're a creative type, say brainstorming, like a lot. It's like back pain. It's impossible to prove you're lying. When I was in finance, I had a whole week I don't remember because I was out there networking so hard. Yeah, I was so good at getting drinks out of the way that in 20 years, just 20 years, I was able to get them all out of the way. Now, you have to be disciplined to keep up that sort of pace. It's blistering. At times, you might have to get a little cocaine out of the way just to keep from falling behind. I mean, there's no easy way to know if someone has a problem with drinking. Counterintuitively, it doesn't have to do with how much you drink or how often. It's about how quickly you start making bad decisions when you do drink. For me, it's right away. Just right off the rip. Catastrophically poor judgment. If I went out for a beer tonight, just one beer with some friends, 6 days from now I could come to in Yonkers, shacked up with a prostitute slash business partner with whom I'm working a swinger party. And I'd be like, what happened? I just went out for one drink. And she'll smile and say, well, we better get back to giving strangers hand jobs. The meth won't buy itself. No, I kid, but it does happen fast. If I leave Listerine in my mouth too long, I start hearing a little voice going, get Coke, screw the babysitter. I belonged in rehab. I did. And there I was, just shooting that dog and trying to pull off the big talent show. Now, I knew that impressing this girl was not likely. She didn't seem interested in ping pong. Tragically, I think she may have been taking rehab seriously. So I did some soul searching and I came to realize what many people already know, that a lustful obsession with whomever happens to be around can magically and effortlessly cure all of your problems. In short, it was love. And men in love know that you don't need to impress a girl, you just need to get their attention. You want someone to love you? Be the brightest peacock. Your tail doesn't have to actually do anything, it's just gaudy feathers. So I decided to get up there and honk honk. So I get to the middle of the group. I think I had snagged a podium from the visitor section. I unfold a piece of paper from my pocket, theatrically lay it before me, and announce that I would like to read a poem called Little Chicken's First Orgasm. Sitting right in front of me, grinning at me, was not the girl, but this kid named Nino. He was something else. He was in for steroids and heroin. I don't even know how those dishes go together. I mean, you go into a roid rage and throw a plate against the wall, except it doesn't make it to the wall. It sort of lands halfway there, fine. And then you're just slouching there, wishing you had the energy to punch someone or clean up the floor. I don't know. I only knew him since he was clean. He was muscular. He was like 17 and talked about Jersey Shore, the show, not the place. I don't even think he knew it was a place. But that is what I loved about him. He had so much enthusiasm for things without all the baggage that goes along with comprehension. So it's time for Little Chicken's first orgasm, and I was nervous. But Nino yells out, "Yo, you got this, bro!" And that is what we need. Someone always just a few feet away, grinning and yelling, "You got this, bro!" I mean, not that exact saying, but you know what I mean. Something that just gives your soul a high five. So, without further ado, Little Chicken's first orgasm. So after the show, Nino came up to me surprisingly bubbly and says, "That was awesome, bro. Can you please, please, please give me a copy of that poem?" I thought he was kidding. Nope. I break it to him that I made it up by saying, "Here, have this copy." And he unfolds the paper and takes in that it is blank. But instead of being disappointed, he goes, "Whoa, this is even more amazing. You memorized all those clucks?" So everyone deserves a Nino. And while the poem keeps Nino flabbergasted to this day, it didn't work. As in, I never slept with the girl. And I was upset about it for a while. Thought about it, drank about it. And turns out the only thing she had taken seriously was not playing ping pong with me. She had another guy that she had loved from the rehab, and then she drank about him. She and I stayed sort of friends. But 6 years later, when I really needed a Nino, she picked me up and drove me to the rehab that had been her last. She said, "This one's different." It was. It was my last. And on the way there, she spoke about the talent show for the very first time. "Do the chicken orgasm again." I did. I'm thrilled that she remembered. That talent show, it turns out, had been a success. "Have fun playing ping pong," she said as she left the rehab. She knew damn well there wasn't any ping pong there. Thank you.